about it, had a lot of questions, but I went ahead and just knew that at least that part was important. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on a Warframe that I want to get rid of, and we're going to get rid of this Nidus here. So now we got our Nidus equipped, and we're going to go back through. Once you've collected the segment, you then bring it to the back of your orbiter. It's going to give you like a yellow waypoint like most other items and segments that you'll have to get, and you'll go ahead and just throw it in the chair. And then once you throw it in the chair, you'll notice it changes, your orbiter updates, and we get this lovely guy in the face, in the back of the orbiter. You'll notice we got this little guy here, and so you can actually interact with him. He's got a cool couple little things. So if you have a pet and companion out and you interact with him, he plays with your companion. If you have a cat, he eats the cat. If you have the carry-on little Roomba over here, then it will do some pretty cool stuff with it. Let's see if I can get it to interact with that. Nope, I'm just getting him just to interact with the dog. But yeah, it does some pretty cool things. You can test those out. Another thing you'll notice over here is I have a couple of flowers. These are all the Warframes that I've sacrificed up to date. And so you can see I got black flower here. I ate Batman, so I was the very first person, I'll say, in history that was able to kill Batman. I got him killed. So, yep, there you go. So we'll enter the chair, and now we got this nice, lovely menu. So if you do have a cyst on your neck, it will prompt you with two prompts. It will give you a prompt for if you want to remove the cyst, or if you want to go to the Helminth chair and sit on it. As you can see, that I'm rank 9, almost rank 10 here, and I got a whole bunch of abilities here that I can actually throw on my Warframe. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. We're going to go to Subsume Warframe. Now, when I do this, we will kill this Warframe. We will kill Nidus. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's go ahead and kill him. Die. Die, you Warframe, die. And it's going to give us a whole bunch of prompts and confirm. We want to make sure that you're absolutely certain that you want to get rid of your Warframe. Like, he's got to die. Let's make sure that they know that they're going to lose their Warframe and they're not going to get any 10,000 credits out of it. So yeah, we're going to have to kill him. And die. Die, Warframe. Die, Nidus. So he falls to the ground, and then he gets lifted up, and then he gets consumed into the wall by the Helminth. And then we'll get a little flower. And it puts us back up over here in the arsenal, which is completely normal. I don't want to throw on my Valkyrie. I'm going to throw on a different Warframe, mostly a Prime Warframe, because I can't subsume, so I can't have any accidents. Or, oops, I accidentally spent 50 plat, and oops, I accidentally subsumed the Warframe I had equipped. So, none of that stuff. So we're going to come back here, and if we come back to the wall, all your customizations that you have equipped to your Warframe will be there on the wall. In addition to all of the customization, however you choose to customize it, it will change the color of the flowers. So obviously, you know, I'm trending the blue. Gotta love the blue. So it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Warframes in, and I have that Warframe being in. So yeah, I've been pretty much consistently subsuming a Warframe 1 every day. And every single time you do that, you'll notice that we have a meter here, and it actually ranks it up. So the way you rank up this Helminth system is you subsume a Warframe, you give Warframe abilities, and you feed the Helminth. All three of those items will ultimately, at the end of the day, rank up your Helminth. The benefits of doing that is, if we go through this menu, the very first rank of Metamorphosis is Warframe subsuming plus 3 subsume slots. It also grants 3 subsume slots when you're used by the Warframe. The second Metamorphosis unlocks an ability, rebuild shields, and so forth. So not only like when you do kill these Warframes, do you get the ability of the Warframe that you just killed, the Helminth learns new abilities that aren't available to you in your arsenal otherwise. So there's a few abilities that you might recognize here. So we got Blood Altar here, so I sacrificed Garuda. We got Defy here, sacrificed to Wukong. Elemental Ward, sacrificed to Chroma. But you don't see anything for Empower. That's because this was a learned ability from the Helminth that the Helminth actually gave us. Marked for Death, this is a really, really overpowered one. This one you get unlocked at rank 7 with the Helminth. I really recommend checking this one out. This is a really overpowered one. Expedite Suffering, affect enemies, bleed cone. I'm not entirely familiar with this one. This one actually just unlocked today. And so on and so forth. So these are all your abilities. The cool thing about it is you can find all these abilities as a blueprint within inside of your inventory. In addition to that, these abilities all being listed here and then being blueprints, you can actually see the cost of actually crafting them, but it's not really a craft as much as it is you got to throw it on your Warframe in order to do that. In order to do that, you got to have the Helminth been fed a certain number of abilities. So, or resources. So here we go. So we went ahead and we subsumed that Warframe, and we noticed that we got some things that drop. So our biotics are down, our pheromones are down, our bile is down. And you can see that they have a correlated symbol here along the side, and they correlate with the symbols up here on the top. You can see that there's not one here, and that's because this the sentient one does something a little interesting that's a little different than the other ones. I felt like they should have added this on significantly earlier on, just because it actually helps you get past the 7, 8, and 9. But it's so easy to rank them up quickly that it's not necessarily that big of a deal. It's kind of more of a nuisance kind of thing. So we got to get some more Calyx. So we're going to go over to Calyx, and we're just going to go ahead and feed our Helminth. Oh no, we don't need Calyx. What we need is, what do we need? We need biotics. So we got to feed him some biotics. So let's see, some biotics. He loves biotics. So let's go ahead and feed him a whole bunch. Oh, biotics are already full, just like that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, then we got to have our, what are these ones? These ones are called pheromones. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Pheromones. Oh, almost out of those. Okay, so we're gonna feed him some of those. We'll feed him some of those. We'll feed him some of those. And now our pheromones are filled. And now we're left to biotics. And biotics are awful because they are some of the rarest resources. There's a couple that aren't here listed because I've already ran out of them because I've been feeding warframes and stuff. You got a lot of your railjack resources are definitely used for this, but another one here that's not listed is argon crystals. That's another good one to give him, simply because you can be running isolation volts and naturally pick those up, and then you can just dump a whole bunch into them. But these are going to be a lot of your rare resources, and when you do feed him some, you can see that you got these arrows up in the top right corner. When we do feed him these abilities, like the ones that are green, these are the ones that he wants. He'll give you the most standing, for lack of a better word, towards him. He'll fill up the most with it because he's craving them. The ones he does not crave will be indicated. Oh, it's not even gonna let me do it. Let me see if I can find one. Red arrows indicate whether or not he no longer craves them. He's sick of them. He doesn't want any more of them. And we can actually use this kind of sort of to our advantage. Let me go ahead and explain. I'm going to go ahead and feed those. As you can see, my bar up at the top filled up, and wow, it filled up a lot. I only have 2,375 left to go. And there's a really quick way of filling up that bar if you're not entirely familiar with it. So we're just going to blow through it and show you how to just really cap it out. So I'm going to actually get this next reward probably today, probably this very minute. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to throw an ability on the Warframe, and I'm just going to take off the ability and throw it on. Every single time you throw on an ability, it ranks it up. Because you have to go back and feed the Helminth. Every single time you have to feed the Helminth, you rank it up. So every time you use the chair, you rank it up. So ideally, you want to be using this as much as possible, as quick as possible. Find some Warframe you really don't care about. Throw on a whole bunch of abilities and keep on throwing on that same ability over and over and over. Keep on feeding the Helminth, and eventually it'll rank up so that you can have everything. So the next slot that I'm actually trying to get here is unlimited subsume slots. That means it doesn't matter. I can keep on subsuming Warframes, and it won't say, oh, you can't subsume any more Warframes. You got to have more slots. We're going to get rid of that BS right now. So let's go ahead. We're just going to do this. This tells the resources that we need. I picked energized munitions particularly because, like, for example, if I was to do Blood Altar requires bile and quite a bit of it. And I really don't want to use bile, and I really don't want to spend a whole bunch of it, especially when I don't want to be taking this ability on and off, especially since that's one of the rarest resources inside the game in order to rank up the Helminth. So I'd much rather find something that doesn't really require any bile. I suppose I could be using these abilities. They require some bile, but they still require bile. I want to conserve that bile as much as I possibly can. So if I go to energized munitions, as you can see, I still can subsume it, or I can still give the ability, but it doesn't cost a whole lot to do it. So I can do this over and over and over for with a relatively cheap cost to myself. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and pick that ability. We're going to hit confirm. Now we can pick a couple of slots. So here's something cool. So I can pick just this one slot, and I'm going to go ahead and get some standing from that. Now, the rule of thumb is you can only put one ability on the Warframe. However, What I can do is I can pick this ability if I so want. Let's see. I think there was another one I could have done. We'll do this one just for the sake of showing. We're going to do Tempest Barrage. As you notice, I'm doing a second ability, which is interesting. So I'm doing second ability. However, I can't put it on slot A. I can put it on slot B. So we're going to go ahead and do that, slot B. And this entire Warframe is going to be completely wrecked amongst its loadouts. So now I've got slot A, slot B, and if I wanted to do a third, I could do a third on the final slot. So I don't have to, it's not that I can only choose one ability. It's I can only have one ability per configuration. So if you want to have a lot of different configurations, this might be kind of useful in adding more variety to your builds. Because you can add configurations too. So if I was to throw my Necros on here and we were to throw, I have 4 configurations on, I could throw a different ability on every single one of those configurations, but I can only change out one of the 4 abilities. So that means 3 of my Necros abilities will still be there, but I can do it across 4 different configurations, and I can have one ability per one, which is really, really cool. Adds a lot of variety to your Warframes. You can make some Warframes really, really overpowered using this method. And basically, this is like where a Warframe wouldn't normally have synergy. You can create synergy there by sacrificing Warframes and creating new abilities. So if you find out a Warframe that just doesn't have a really good kit, say Loki, trash kit, you can actually kind of sort of make him half decent by throwing on a half decent ability other than, a decoy that can last 2 seconds. You can actually change that out and make it half decent. So what we're going to do is now what we're going to do is we're going to pick this one and we're going to remove infusion. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to go ahead and remove it. And then we're just going to span this sucker and we're just going to make it just happen. And we'll just go crossed. That way we just consume as much as possible. And then we're just going to hit X, just cut it in the middle of the cutscene. And then we're going to go ahead and hit it again. And we're just going to do this over and over and over. And this is the fastest way of leveling up your Helminth than you ever could possibly imagine. And it's just going to rank you up like a champ. And you're going to see that if I have enough resources here, I'm afraid I might actually fall a little shy. I'm at 1100 and I need to get to that 12. So we're just going to keep on doing this real quick. And you're going to just see how fast this is a rank up. And it's just automatically pulling the resources from my inventory. Well, all the resources I've already given the Helminth, so I don't need to worry exactly too much. So now it says I've run out. I need to get some more calyx. So let's go ahead and we're going to go back through. We're going to feed him, and we need to feed him calyx. And so let's see. He doesn't really like these ones as much. I'm actually kind of sort of out. That's what the exclamation point in the top left-hand corner means. I'm out. So I'm going to feed him as much of the good stuff as I possibly can. He doesn't really like anything, so I'm just going to throw a whole bunch at him. And then we'll go ahead and we'll go over here. He doesn't like anything I'm giving him, so we're just going to say, suck it up, eat it, be a good Helminth, and just take it like a champ. And then I don't think I actually have any bile left I can give him. So yeah, I got no bile left. I can't. So I can't even rank this up, or I can't even assume a Warframe yet. So I got to just just kind of sort of take it and just kind of sort of deal with it. I'm running out of resources here, so we'll just do all that as much as we possibly can. We're running so short. We're running so shy on resources here. I'm just going to be out before I can say, oops, the session's already full. Perfect. And we're going to feed him there, and bada bing, bada boom. Oh, we unlocked the last ability right then and there. So as you can see, you can just keep on doing this over and over and over, and that is the fastest way of ranking up your Helminth. So as you can see, I got all the way to rank 10, and I was pretty much about halfway or so just by feeding it a Warframe, throwing on Warframe abilities, feeding the Helminth, and just ranking it up like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Continue to go out there and break Warframe, and have a wonderful day, guys. Peace.